50% is just freshmen at Columbia. I think that's about the max. I think our Board of Trustees feels this way. I feel this way. Our measured growth strategy is one that we will try to meet with more in-state students. So I think we've achieved something that helped us during a time of duress, but I think to go further than that is not right for the university or the state.
Why is that?
Well, because we are the flagship university for the state, and I think half and half feels good. Diversity of geography, of culture, of revenue sources, but I think to go much above that might indicate to the state that we aren't fulfilling our flagship mission. I think we are, and I think the number we've arrived at is about the maximum for out-of-state enrollment.
How would you, if there is no renewed dialogue, as we've talked about several times, and if the state doesn't come through with this bargain of better state funding for higher education, how would you go about halting or even reducing the number of out-of-state students that are coming in each year and still providing the education?
Well, first of all, I don't think that's going to happen. I think what you saw today and I saw today was a new resolve to have a focused conversation and get to what, again, I'll call some level of fair funding. Not my definition, but a mutually agreeable definition. And I know your question said, what if not? I think we still stabilize at the 50-50 and look to a new revenue sources where we can find them. Distance education, continuing education, professional development, and of course selling more football tickets. No, not that.
And you said,
don't put that on the record. That was a joke.
Sure, but the dialogue you've talked about trying to get started, you said a couple of times in this meeting that it just hasn't been there. Do you think that this was the first evidence that lawmakers are willing to sit at the table with you?
To be fair, there have been a couple of starts that didn't go anywhere, so I can't be 100% sure that this will go somewhere, but it felt to me like it would. Body language, really focused. This was a 2-hour plus meeting. While it was passionate, it was not argumentative, I don't believe, or testy. So I really am hopeful, bordering on confident that this is the time.
Are you happy that even after the issue, and there's been all kinds of controversy on both sides about whether out-of-state students are good, whether abatements are good, but are you happy that at least this issue brought this to light and you've got lawmakers looking at the consequences of state cuts and things like that?
Yes, so we're getting closer to the core issue of state funding. It's not only a USC issue, it's a public higher ed issue altogether. And so, yeah, I feel a sense of relief, but not total relief. I think that what I'll say the beginning of a sense of reality, of conversation. Every member of this Senate committee was engaged. Everyone asked multiple questions. I think there's really a level of following up from this now to see what happens. And by the way, Mike, I can speak for my peers. All of us want that too. It's not just